Good morning, all you beautiful people and everybody else. Good morning, everyone. So what I want to talk to you about today, it's relationships, and just based on my experience, what should be a few red flags and green flags you should keep an eye out for in a relationship to know if it's like thriving, or maybe if you're in a toxic relationship and you should look for a way out or a way to fix it. I'll try and do this like, say, one of the positives and alongside it one of the negatives aspects of a relationship. So number one on a green flag list, it's a relationship must have trust between each other. You need to trust your partner, but not only like okay, it's she is being faithful, but also like financial trust. I mean, if you're parents, you should trust each other's parenting style and trust them with caring of the child. So trust in most aspects of your life. That's a mandatory there. And on the opposite spectrum, on a red flag, if it's too much envy or jealousy. I mean, each relationship might have a bit of envy and jealousy because that's just human nature, but when it becomes so that for example, the envy, it's so much, even you have envy so much for your partner, they for you, they cannot have a positive image of you anymore, just how envious they are, or jealousy, they over control you, that you need to tell them every time where you are, or if you went out with friends or something happened at work that was funny, you're reluctant to tell them the story because, yeah, if you say something good happened to you in your private life, they will be jealous. You know, that's extreme. Another one on the green flag list is like you can communicate clearly with each other. Whatever you have to say, you can say. And you can express yourself. You can have arguments saying why you think it's like that. They will listen to you. They will try and understand. They will try to understand your point of view. You can clearly speak to each other. That's very important. On a red flag list then is toxic communication. I mean, whenever you try and say something, they're always sarcastic. They make a joke. They don't really take your points into consideration. Just what they say, it's right, and what you say, it's whatever. That's not how it's supposed to go. It's not funny. It's not a love relationship if they're always mocking you when you talk. That's a very big no-no. What else? In a relationship, you should be able to feel independent. I mean, you need to clearly define where, for example, I and we start, where you have your own identity. Not everything is supposed to be done based on your partner's wishes, and you should feel confident going out only with friends or having an afternoon on your own just for a bit of privacy. You don't need to be 24/7 together. If you want, you can do a trip, a vacation just with some friends, with some colleagues from work, and that should be totally okay and acceptable and understandable. I mean, not to be conjoined at the hip as partners, you know. And the opposite of this is if you see somebody with super controlling behavior, in which they schedule your time, they call you all the time when you're not there just to check up where you are, what are you doing. Even if you're supposed to be at home and they're out, they call you to confirm you're at home. If they send you a text and you don't answer, they keep texting you until you answer, and it's always a big drama. Why didn't you answer? Where were you? What did you do? That needs to be avoided. One moment, let me just get out of this traffic jam. So another healthy thing, a green flag in a relationship, it's a bit counterintuitive, this one, but you're supposed to have these disagreements, okay? So if there's something you don't like, or something that doesn't quite sit right with you, with your partner, just open it as a topic, discuss it, and have a disagreement. Discuss, okay, maybe there's a bit of yelling or fighting, whatever it's gonna go, as long as you solve it and you get to a consensus, then that's totally healthy, that's totally fine. You're supposed to have disagreements. And then on the red flag list is like, you're always walking on eggshells. You're afraid to start a disagreement, to say anything, because of the backlash, of the reaction from your partner, of the yelling, of the drama, of the, well, why are you saying this? No, it's not true. Just trying to not even review your points, not even to have a disagreement, but just to, you're afraid of the total reaction that they're going to have if you might bring up something they don't agree with. So that's not normal. Now, just this is a general, I don't know if it's a green flag or red flag, but just as expectations in a relationship. I mean, regarding the intimacy part, you should be intimate with each other, of course. If there's no touching, no alone moments, that's not normal. And of course, depending on how a relationship evolves, this intimate relationship is also evolved between you and your partner. I mean, it might come a bit more intense, it might come a bit more comfortable with each other, might explore things, but don't get forced into doing things that you don't like to. Like, they should understand you don't agree with certain intimate things to do, like you don't like certain things, and that should be okay. Or it depends how much a concession you can make. But and over time, the relationship is gonna change, the intimate relationship. It's gonna slow down, maybe it's gonna have times when it's gonna pick up again, and that's totally normal. I mean, it's nothing out of this world. Nothing's gonna be like the first day, like the first time. It changes, it grows. And another thing here, it's don't be so judgy about how a person looks just based on your friends. This is pre-relationship advice. Don't be so judgy regarding how a person looks just because of what your friends think or whatever. I mean, a person's physical trait, how they look, their physical aspect, will change in your eyes depending on the type of interactions you have with them. So, for example, you find somebody that doesn't have the classical defined whatever, this is beauty as standard online media, magazine, whatever beauty. It's just a normal person, okay? But you start talking to them, you become friends, you discuss things, and they're kind, they're good, they're caring, they're smart, and you'll start seeing a lot of beautiful features in them just because you appreciate who they are as a person. And that's for sure gonna happen. And on the opposite spectrum, if you don't get along with a person, if they're like the standard beauty, whatever it was, they're so pretty, they're so beautiful, but you have only bad interactions with them. They're like mean, they're not caring, they don't listen, you cannot have points in common with them. Of course, in your eyes, like a dysmorphia is going to happen. You're going to see like ugly features. They're not going to be beautiful to you, and that for sure is going to happen. That's how people work. I don't know why, but it happens to everybody. Also, in a relationship, there will be some compromises, but you need to be careful what you compromise. I mean, if you start losing relationships, if you start like with friends, with family, because your partner won't allow it, that's not a compromise. That's one of the controlling points I was saying before. But if you can compromise and regarding your meals, whatever you want to eat, that's totally fine. And you just need to make sure that both, not only yours, but both partners' needs are somehow met. And just a footnote for the guys especially, don't go all into that alpha male, whatever, beta, sigma. Man, don't try and find online 5 steps to get a girl. That's the worst approach you can have to a relationship. For example, imagine you find this course online. It tells you do these 5 steps, you're gonna get a girl. Okay, fine. You do these 5 steps 20 times. In the end, the girl, yeah, whatever. You get a girl to agree to be with you in whatever relationship because you did these 5 steps. Yeah, it worked. Wow, this guy is the best advice giver in the world. But what happens next? You're in a relationship and your partner is in a relationship with some made-up person. I mean, you just followed some steps. That's not who you are. That's not your natural self. So how are you going to keep it up in a relationship? How are you going to continue to keep that relationship going? That's not going to be a relationship. That's going to be at most a hookup. Or you're going to always force yourself to be somebody who you are not. And that's not going to function long term. It's just going to be, yeah, dead and unpleasant for both of you most probably. So don't just find some steps that some guy online tells you to follow. Just try and naturally work on yourself, become a better person, and find somebody that sees that in you. But not you. It's like you don't deserve inherently to receive anything, you know. You need to earn it. So work on yourself and then you might have results. Don't just say because I'm a guy I deserve to have a girlfriend. It doesn't work like that. Everybody deserves their own privacy, their own relationship. Everybody has their own different things. So yeah. Opa, big truck doing big truck things. Hey. And I guess with that we're done for today. Yeah, keep a healthy mind and a healthy relationship and take care of yourself. Bye.